soul, feeling the loss of control in the spirit, so colorful. Easy feeling, then let's go to a place where you belong. Give you strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise,
Take me home to the banks of the riverside. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best. Yes, it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the riverside.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the YouTube channel here on the Toon Review. Got that back to front, but never mind. It's Thursday night, and it's the preview match for Newcastle United versus Burnley, which many people are classing as literally a cup final for us this time. I'm joined by the old Mucker Harrison. How are you doing?
Not bad, matey. How are you?
I see you've got the old retro shirt.
I've got my, yeah, I
that
got
you
it on.
paid a fortune for, I do believe.
Well, you know, you've got to do it, haven't you? It's
Yes.
one of those things. You know, I thought, you know what, I'm going to cheer myself up and buy a new top.
Why the hell
So,
not? Why
well,
the hell
exactly,
not?
Why not? Yes.
Obviously Saturday, Dave, you were away flicking
am.
matchsticks, or monitoring
watch-
people flicking
What-
matchsticks. but,
yes, monitoring people watching.
So you won't be there, but I mean, it's
No.
going to be intense. I'm sure nerves will be there before the game. Everybody's going to be sort of worried about it. Everybody's going to be wondering what team lineup is going to come out at 2:00.
That's the big thing, mate. Absolutely.
I've been racking my brains over and over, and I don't know. I literally don't know what he's going to do. I have a feeling he might stick with the same guys, apart from obviously Kieran Clark, but it's who comes in for Clark. That is a big thing with me. Is it going to be who we hope it'll be, as in Federico, or is it going to be Jamal Lascelles?
Well, looking back at Eddie this year, I mean, he's been out with COVID, bless him. Hey, Matthew, looking at what he's been doing when he's bringing people in to do things, he surely, to goodness, cannot bring Lascelles back because he's been poor. There's no getting away from it. Even he said that when Fernandes came in, he had I think his words were outstanding game or whatever.
I think he actually used the word magnificent.
Not magnificent. Well, there you go.
If I do recall. So
yeah. So you've got to look at that and think, right, if he had that magnificent game, how on earth can you drop him? I mean, we were disappointed on Tuesday night when he was on the bench. We all thought he would have started. He didn't. But matters changed after 9 minutes, and he's in. And we all said he had an outstanding or magnificent game. So the only thing that there's to think about is that he is the captain now. Will the skipper? Will the captain? Oh God, I can't say the word gaffer. Good grief!
Sorry, just your age, Dave. Just take.
I know it's my brain, not what it used to be. I'm 97.
I know. Just get on with it, man.
But I mean, it's this. He's the skipper. Will the gaffer think, well, I need to put my skipper in? We all hope and pray that he doesn't do that, and Lascelles has a bit of time on the bench.
What's your head telling you, Dave? What's your head telling you? Is it telling you that he's going to put Lascelles back in, or is he going to be brave and leave the captain out? Because so many times we've heard about Eddie Howe. He comes across very politely and stuff like that, but behind the scenes he can be ruthless.
I agree.
Taking things from Fergie and then put down the years. But it's a big decision to make to leave a captain out.
Yeah, it is. But I think that if he's half the man we all hope he is, and look,
Yeah.
you know what he's done in the past, as you say, that he is this sort of nice, you know, almost cuddly coach on the line. You know, had everybody very polite and all the rest of it. But behind the scenes, he's, as you say, he's ruthless, and I think if he's out the man we think he is, which we all hope he is, I think he'll leave him out, and he'll leave Fernandez in, because he was outstanding. And as I said on the fan forum, was it last night? No, just this week's been really strange.
It was last night, yeah.
It was last night. I mean, in the second half, when he was just in front of where I sit, the number of times he looked at the attacking player and thought, got you. Not yet. Not yet. Now got you. And he was away with the ball. Or he tackled, you know, and he got it away. He did that time and time again. And he, you know,
it was his reading of the game that impressed me.
Absolutely.
The way he was, you know, he would step up to challenges and things like that, and step up and intercept the ball. It was brilliant the way he did it.
He was also pointing to the other defenders where to be, and that, you know, and saying, get there, watch him do that.
I mean, Shah was doing that as well, which is why I think that the two of them should be our go-to defenders without a shadow of a doubt in my eyes.
I mean,
it simply has to be.
Yes.
Matthew says the ASM owes us a performance on Saturday.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
I mean, but you know, the ASM fan club is out in force. If you say anything bad against him, he hammers.
Well, I mean, he's, you know, we've said it before, and no doubt we'll keep saying it. He's an absolutely amazing player. When he does those tricky runs and he bounces past players, it's absolutely amazing to watch. I love him to bits.
Yeah.
But as we've consistently said, Paul, over the last, you know, sort of 18 months, it's his last ball. It's you know, does he take one defender on too many, or does he just not think? I mean, the other week when there was players left and right, and you say to have a shot through the middle and it didn't come off, and you're thinking, just knock it wide, you know, and that's what he doesn't do. If he can learn to do that, and, you know, hopefully Howe and the team will get him to do that, he's going to be an outstanding player. But as one or two people have said on Twitter and other social media things today, he doesn't look happy at the minute. And, you know, one or two people said he put that little thing out when Bruce left, you know, so, you know, Gaffer's gone, whatever. What was he Bruce's favourite, and could he do wherever he wanted? Now he's got to come and he's got to be, as you said, he's got to be a team player. He's got to train hard. He's got to do what Eddie and the team say, instead of just doing what you know, Bruce probably ought, just go out there, son, and just enjoy yourself. We don't know, but I mean, it's, you know, is he?
Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the comment's right. I think he does also a performance this weekend.
Definitely. John says, are there any English good coaches? Are any English coaches any good? Yes, there's quite a few.
I think so. There's quite a few, yeah.
Definitely. Susan Modern behind the scenes, good evening.
Susan.
Abadai says hi there. Dave says hi, Susan. Good evening, fellow Newcastle fans. Up the mags. David says, I hope everyone is sound. Arsenal win at Man United already, Bloody hell. That's interesting.
Wow.
I'm pleased. Good evening, Mark. Luke says, come on, Arsenal. I love it when Man United lose. It's quite hilarious, to be honest. Saturday needs to be the game when we turn it around. Yeah, I mean, listen, we said that on Tuesday night that the Norwich game was going to be our big moment to shine. It was going to be, you know, that game was going to be the turnaround, and unfortunately, within 8 minutes, that was all the pot. We've got to be disciplined, but I mean, these players, you know, need to go out on Saturday and probably, you know, give us a few goals, give us a win, give us a few goals, get the confidence levels up, get the morale up, and try and go for Burnley, because you know, Burnley, they're a very strange team. They drew with Wolves last night, which I found incredible, really, because you know, Wolves, you know, they've played Norwich now, and they played you know, Burnley. They'd be looking for wins in that game, 2-0 draws. Burnley, a very, very defensive team, I think it's fair to say. I think Dyche sets them up, you know, he's very much not to lose because of the players that he's got.
He's got, absolutely.
And considering what he's done, you know, because, you know, he hasn't exactly been given bags of money to spend at Burnley.
No.
He's done a wonderful job there. But I think Burnley, you know, probably more so than Norwich, are a team that we can get at if we stay with 11 players.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Burnley will run all day. Dyche has got them fit and they will run at you. But it's, again, with them, it's their final third. I mean, I watched some of the highlights last night and, there were no big shakes. And, Wolves should have taken them apart, but so whether Wolves couldn't or just Susan or whatever, I don't know. But I mean, they were poor last night. And, they've played a game a day after us, so they'll be a little bit more tired, hopefully. And you're absolutely right. We've got to go for it. And I think for me, that even that first 8 minutes on Tuesday night, we looked up for that game. We absolutely did.
We did.
We had some good attacking chances. I mean, nothing came of it, but I mean, it would have done hadn't Clark did what he did and stayed on. And I've said a couple of times since 11v11, I honestly believe we would have won that game. I really do.
I do. Even if we fell a goal behind, I still believe we would have won that game.
Yeah, that's on you. What you said in your chat, yes, to Clark, just run near him. Don't pull him back like you did. I mean, put your mate a meal a bit. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, Wilson would do the same. Not that if you get the free kick, of course. But
True. Very true.
Yeah, I mean, run alongside him. You never know, the kicker might have pulled a great save off. Put your mate, just put it through into Rose's head. But yeah, let the goal go. 10 on 10. Come back, and I still believe, as you said, had we went a goal down 8 minutes, I think we would have got more out of that game than we did. But we played our hearts out. I mean, the number of players who were outstanding, Linton, Shelby, Sharon and Fernandez, just utterly brilliant. And I think for me, at the end of the game, when the game finished, there was 3 or 4 of them, and Shelby was one of them, who sat on the ground.
Yeah, they were knackered.
And they were knackered. You could see the steam coming off them. They'd ran their hearts.
They were knackered. They were disappointed. They were hurting, which was in a way good to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Peter Griffin, I don't think that's his real name, but it might be. Thank you for the super chat of £20, mate. Evening, lads. I travelled all the way from London to see Clark ruin the game in the first 9 minutes. But the heart and desire we showed with 10 men proves that 11v11 we can beat Burnley. Comment, share, subscribe. How are the lads? Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it.
Spot on comment, lad.
Matthew makes a good point here. Says, would a win against Burnley and Everton and a draw against Leicester be enough till January? So that's 7 points. Given that we're only on 7 at the minute, that would take us to 14. Probably not. If we're being openly honest, probably not, because Norwich and Burnley are on 10 points as they stand. Now, they are going to pick a few more points up somewhere along the line. Look, it's very strange because Man City have come to St James's before in recent years and we've beat them.
Even totally out of the blue. Hammered.
Man United the same. We've beaten them. Now, Man United are absolute trash at the minute. And, I know Ragnick's coming in. It's his last game for Carrick tonight and then Ragnick takes over. But you know what it is? You just don't know. You just don't know what formation they're going to play. No. He's going to need time to adjust the team and play it his way. So it's going to be interesting in December because I genuinely believe that, like I say, I think had we had 11v11 against Norwich, I think we would have comfortably won that by about 3-1 or something like that. I really do because I didn't think much of Norwich. When I watched them against Wolves, they passed the ball very, very quickly. They moved quickly. But then against 10 men against us, it was very, very slow build-up, and I didn't quite understand why. But again, we'll see what happens. Trolls, good evening. Hope you're well, buddy.
Trolls.
Cesare, the big shark wrestler in South Africa there. I'm loving this song more and more every time I hear it. Good evening, all you sexy tunes. Good day, you two amazing hosts. Ready for our first win this weekend. There you go. Positivity in a heartbeat. James, good evening. I said Fernandez would be nice to see. Just shame how it came about. But he was faultless from when he came on. Surely must stick with him. Listen, I made the point last night, I think it was, or on the match reaction video I did, that, sometimes when players aren't getting a look in, it takes a bit of luck for that individual player. Now, that look for Fernandez came in Clark getting sent off. And there is no doubt in my eyes that Fernandez was on that pitch to prove a point to Eddie Howe and the rest of the coaching staff that he is the number one defender and should be in the team because of the way he played. Now, he's played like that whenever he's been on the pitch. Yes, he's made some mistakes over time, but he always gives 110%. And that's what I love to see in a player like him. So I think he's pushed his way in. But is it a case of Fernandez now is number one in their eyes and it's between Shah and Lascelles now?
It could be, as I said earlier, Paul. You've got to look at who was the club captain or the team captain, and that's obviously Lascelles. Will Eddie have the courage in the bottle to say, "Sorry, son, these two are better than you"? We all know they are, but of course, he gets, as I said on the other shows, he gets paid the big bucks to make those tough decisions. And it may well be that he decides not to, because the other thing you've got to think of, will it disrupt other players in the team? If they all think Lascelles is wonderful and should be playing, if he's not played again, it might have a bit of a knock-on effect. By the same token,
I think it'll have a knock-on effect with the fans if Lascelles is in.
Yeah.
When that team sheet comes out at 2:00, if we see Lascelles instead of A. Shaw or B. Fernandez, it's going to upset. It's going to be like a kick in the balls, to be honest.
No, absolutely. No, I agree. I mean, I think in the past we've looked at. I mean, I remember my heart dropping the 2 or 3 games that Jones had, and I think his first game, it was the same team. There was a couple of changes in the substitute from the last one from Bruce, and we all went, "Oh, come on!"
Yeah, it was.
And then he made a bit of a change in the third one.
I felt like that on Saturday when I saw Clark was in the team, and I saw Fernandez on the bench, and I was like, "Really? Do we really have to go down this route?"
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
That would have been Tuesday, by the way, but never mind. It's been a busy week. So
what did I say?
Saturday.
Oh, kiss
never
me.
mind.
I'm getting Harrisonitis now. Neil says Howe has to start with the same back four from the last match. That's Fernandez instead of Clark. A lot of people are saying that, to be honest.
Agreed,
David said he organised as soon as he came on. He did.
He was, absolutely.
He was back, and I think Norwich had a corner, did they not, when he came on? And he was very vocal as he was running towards the 6-yard box.
He was waving his arms everywhere and saying, "You go there." And he chucked a couple of people out of the way as well. I think he put Shelby further back and whatever. Yeah. So,
but that's what we need.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need players like that who are going to give heart and soul. Good evening, Stu. He says, "Evening, Paul and His Royal Highness Dave, the King of Northumberland."
Hi, Stu. How are you doing?
Neil says, "Sentiment over the captaincy will not save us from relegation."
True.
I do not believe for one second that Eddie Howe believes in sentiment. What's the word? Sentiment C, if that's even a word. What I'm trying to say is that I don't believe Eddie Howe believes in that anyway. And I think if he feels that he's got 2 defenders that are better than Lascelles to put in on Saturday. Now, who's to say he won't go back to the 3 centre backs? He could put Lascelles in with Sean Fernandez. Now, if he does that, I won't be as bothered, I don't think, as I would be as Lascelles going in a 2. If he's playing in a 3 with Fernandez and Shah, they can cover for him quite easily, I think. So it'll be interesting to see if he does that, because I haven't really thought about him going to the 3 centre backs again.
Well, yeah.
I'm hoping he doesn't, though, Dave.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, because both of them have come in and played really well, and obviously he got his yellow card, which, it happens. The defender's going to get, defenders are going to get yellow cards. It's the nature of the beast. But yeah, we don't know what formation he's going to play. I mean, we all think we know what we want, was 4-4-3 or, the 3-4-2-1-2, whatever it is.
Dave.
Yes.
4-4-3. There'll be too many men on the pitch, my man.
No, we need to do that. We need to play for. I mean, 4-4-4 even, that would be better. But no, you know what I meant. Yeah, 4-3-3 is what I mean.
We'll just skip over that, Dave. We'll gently skip over that.
Moving on. Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a long day,
Whatever. Big Billy says, "Hi, Paul. Do you think Jones had a word with Howe about not playing Fernandez?" I think it's probably the other way around, to be honest. I think Jones has had the beef with Fernandez. We know that, but what kind of beef, we don't know.
We don't know. Nobody knows.
But it seems to be, hopefully it's been sorted out. Yeah. Matthew says, "Surely we win on Saturday. We need to." Yep, we keep saying that every week, though, and unfortunately, it doesn't happen like that. Matthew says, "If Lascelles starts, we lose." Yeah,
don't know about that, but I see where he's come from.
But that's the nature. That's the sort of mindset that the fans are in now, Dave, with Lascelles, because he's made so many bloody mistakes.
Yes, and you're right. And I think the other thing is that, for my money now, I know you and others have said the thing. He doesn't instill confidence in the back four the way that Fernandez and Shaw do. I mean, they look as though they know what they're doing. As I said earlier, they look at a play and think, how we are getting this thing.
Yeah.
Right. And nice with Tim going, thanks very much, and they're away up the pitch. And we all know that Shaw can get the ball off somebody and he can run 20, 30 yards up the middle, skip past a couple of players and put a good ball in, or even score the odd goal, which is what you want. I don't think I've seen Lascelles do that for a couple of 3 seasons. The last time he was playing well was when Rafa was here, and Rafa had them absolutely nailed down. It was almost, you will cover those, 5 square yards, and you will go.
It is hard. It is hard to look back and think. You think, where did Lascelles last play well? It's hard.
Rafa.
This is an incredible comment from James. Joe Linton for captain. Who'd have thought? Listen, if you want a captain who is the epitome of 110%. Not letting anything go, running around the pitch for 90 minutes like a blue-ass fly, winning tackles. I mean, Joe Linton, I don't think is a captain because he's for obvious reasons. But if you're looking at somebody leading by example, then yes, he is the kind of player that leads by example, and it's amazing to see. After all the crap that Joe Linton's been through since he signed for the club, he is now one of those players that is setting examples to the other players with the work ethic he's got. And I heard a few people mention that Joe Linton could actually end up as a midfielder.
I heard that, yeah.
Now, he was playing more central, definitely, on Tuesday night when we were at 10 men. There's no doubt about that. He was more central. But it's working out his position, isn't it? I mean, I would have liked to have, seen what 11 men would do against Norwich, and obviously Joe Linton was playing left side, so it was going to be interesting to see how he was going to do. But we didn't see that come to fruition.
Yeah, the thing that gets me, Paul, is if somebody had said on this chat 18 months ago, Joe Linton for captain, you would have lost it and went, for God's sake, and we all would have said...
I never lose it, Dave. I'm always very calm.
No, you're very calm and collected. But you know what I mean? Yes. We would all sort of say that's always now. When you say that, we go, no, it's not a bad shout. But that just goes to, in what is it, 4 weeks since Eddie Howe came in, the coaches. I mean, it's incredible. It really is.
Yeah. This is DJL Float says sometimes things happen for a reason. If Clark wasn't sent off, maybe Fernandez wouldn't have come on at all. It might have made Howe realise he's our best defender. 3-0 Saturday, got a good feeling. Exactly what I said. I think one thing Fernandez did. He came on. He took his chance, and he took his chance more so than a lot of other players have. Yeah. Matthew says, let's face it, ASM needs a kick up the arse. He was spoiled for 2 years under Bruce. And he says ASM has no direction a lot of the time. Yeah, it is hard to work out what he's going to do. I don't think even he knows at times. And we've had players in the past who've been like that. You look at, Hatem Ben Arfa. I mean, there's a comparison. Ben Arfa or ASM. I mean,
Ben Arfa,
to be honest, I'd take Ben Arfa as well. I mean, Ben Arfa for his shooting was second to none. His free kicks was second to none. Yeah. Maybe, a player like ASM should look at videos of somebody like Ben Arfa of sort of, when to release the ball, when to give it, or if he thinks he's, we've seen some wonderful goals from Ben Arfa in the past. When he's picked it up on the halfway line, he's gone past 6 or 7 and slotted it home. But he didn't always do that, Ben Arfa. He was in and out the game as a flair player tends to be. But you just did not know what Ben Arfa was going to do. But he had a finishing product, fantastic crosser of the ball. Always hit the head of Shearer, etc. Ben, ASM doesn't do that.
And the thing with Ben Arthur, when he hit a ball, as the old saying goes, it stayed hit. I mean, somebody said, was it on Twitter yesterday, just saying he didn't do tap-ins. He did.
Well, his debut goal at Everton at Goodison. Do you remember that one? I mean, that was an absolute thunder rocket. That it was. So I think he needs to take. Look at players like that and develop that way as well, because. The more he goes down and rolls around and says he's injured all the time, the more frustrated the fans get with him, because there was fans on Tuesday night around me who were getting frustrated with him, and when there's clear passes on to lay it off. So there was a couple of times Jamal Lewis was sprinting past him, just lay it off. Jamal Lewis can cross the ball. He didn't. He cut back inside where he's got 3 men up against him, and the ball is lost. And it happens too much. But again, that is down to Eddie Howe. I'm sure Eddie Howe has realised that.
I mean, that's coaching, that, isn't it? It's to make sure that he he teaches them. I mean, you're right. I think if he was to watch Ben Arthur and even Peter Beardsley, the way he could dance through a defence, dropping shoulders and twisting whatever, and then the players just didn't know what was going to happen with either of those two players.
I mean, it was Lauren
Yes,
Robert
good
as well.
French
as well.
On,
I mean, I think he was a bit more lazy.
Yeah.
Lauren Robert, if he wasn't up for it, you just knew he wasn't.
But I mean, back in the day, you had Jimmy Smith, who was very similar, another super flair player.
Was that just after the war? Was it?
That was the Boer War.
Right, yeah.
Jimmy's not that old. I mean, I remember. I probably said before. I remember playing Man United, and we're getting beat 2-1, I think, or 2-0 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he touched the ball for about 30 minutes, and a lad in the stand just shouted, "How we jinky man, you can beat this lot." And he almost went, "Nah, go on then." And in 6 minutes, he scored a hat-trick and won the game for it. And then he stopped again. I've done what I had to do,
Yeah.
So
I've scored a hat-trick. I'll have a rest.
I'll have a rest now, yeah. And you think, fair enough, fella.
Yeah, definitely. You've done your job. John says, hard decision. Man's useless. Captain Titanic. I obviously think he's talking about Jamal Lascelles there.
Yeah.
Joel says, ASM and Willock are friends. At the same time, they are playing slow. What's up with those two? Well, we'll come on to Willock. Luke says, Dembele on the way. 12 million a season and 12 million sign-on fee. Money talks. But so do injuries. And he's hardly played for Barca because of injuries. I'm not so sure about that one.
Good player on his day, but...
Oh, hell yeah.
But
undoubtedly.
as you say, is he going to be fit enough long enough?
No, I don't think he is. Ab says, so Norwich, biggest game of the season, and Clark sent off after 10 minutes. Anyone predicting what calamity will happen against Burnley?
Oh, don't.
I mean, Abs is right in a way, though, because, you take a look at it and you think, right, so many times this season, there's been incidents in matches where they've completely changed the game for us. And you look at that, the magnitude of the game on Tuesday night when we were just begging for a win. We didn't care. Off somebody's backside into the net. I mean, my mate sitting next to us was saying, hopefully Tim Krul will feel sorry for us and throw one in or give a penalty away or, score, do something. And that's all we wanted. In off somebody's backside, a sneaky 1-0 win, just to get that 3 points and start moving up the table.
Yeah, we set up, we get a corner, one of their players slips and falls, kick the ball and hits his bum and goes in the back, and then I take it. I mean, I'd be stressed to hell, but I would have taken it, so...
Matthew says not beating Norwich has put a lot of pressure on this game.
Absolutely.
It has.
Yeah,
it's ramped it up even more. And again, in the past, you've looked at Newcastle United against Burnley, and nobody's thought, oh, that's not a very big game between them sides, is it? Even as fans, we go thinking, oh, it's not one of the big boys, but we'll still go. But this is massive again. And if we don't take anything from this game, I mean, when I say don't take anything, I think we have to win. A draw really is no good.
No, it's not. I mean, and I think you're right. But on top of that, another draw will just start to get the team, the coaches, and more especially us fans going, oh, God, here we go. Yeah. And that negativity, I mean, there was, lots of comments the day after and the night of the Norwich game. And the negativity was starting to come back. It had almost gone, but it was coming back. There was huge positivity before the game and negative. And I think if we don't win on Saturday, that negative is going to take some shifting. It really is.
Matthew makes a good point there, saying if we go 1-0 up on Saturday, we need to build on it. Yeah. I mean, too many times this season we took the lead and we sat back, but that was under a previous manager. I don't think Eddie Howe will allow that. Yes, we went 1-0 up on Tuesday night, but that was very, very different circumstances.
I think you're right. He sat back, or made us sit back, because what he wanted to do was to play possession football.
Just see the game out.
See the game and work for quite a while. And then obviously, the tired, and as always happens with 10 men, because you're chasing the game all the time. Yeah. And, we're going to argue to a blue in the face whether the keeper should have caught it or punched it or knocked it behind for a corner, whatever. He decided to punch it and the ball was recycled. And then, of course, you have to say that, Puppy would come up and put it at the back of the net. It was almost written in the stars. But as you said the other night, had we gone for it a few minutes after that penalty was scored and got another one, I think Norwich would have just fell apart.
Yeah, I really do.
We would have made a comfortable win. But it didn't happen. We've got 1 point. We've got to move on.
Yeah. Toon says, let's keep the support going strong. You must see Arsenal's goal tonight. Comedy of errors. Burnley have 2 players back from suspension. Yeah, they do. But we shouldn't really focus on Burnley. I think it's got to be focused on ourselves to win the game. Dan says this isn't Newcastle related, but as an Englishman and women, do you agree that Ramsdale should be the England starter? Yes.
Yeah.
Although,
Agree.
to be fair to Pickford, I mean, I don't like the guy, but he's never really made a rick for England. He's always been pretty solid.
No, I mean,
Which is hard for Southgate to drop him in that way.
Yeah, I said it in the Euros. I mean, he's not my favourite person anyway. I mean, apart from that, he's a Mackin, but that's I wouldn't hold that against him. Yes, I would.
Of course he would.
He was stunning. I mean, he really was. He played really well. So you got a guy like that who can play well. You've got to keep him in, But no, I agree with the comment though. Yeah.
Good evening, Morgul. Robert says time to get revenge on Burnley after they put us out the cup earlier in the season. Yeah, that was a bit of a bleak game, I have to say. We aren't down till it's mathematically certain. No chance of staying up. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Matthew says need to watch out for Cornet. Yeah, Cornet is definitely the danger man for Burnley, no doubt about it. But he hasn't been on this. Well, there's a kiss of death. He hasn't been on the score sheet for a few games, so that's it. He's going to score on Saturday. I do apologise. Seth says if we lose, we're down. Tottenham are winning, says Luke. Yep, they are. I watched a bit of that game before it came on live. Still think Pickford is a decent keeper, says Abs. He is, but there's just something not right at Everton with him. I don't know what it is.
To be fair, he was poor the other night.
He was poor. Stu says ASM and Joe Willock have gone AWOL these last few games, just when we needed them both to step it up. But Clark needed his ass kicked for getting sent off so early in a must-win game. It was lunacy. I believe he did get a bollock, and there's insiders come out and said that he did receive well, look at Eddie Howe's face when he came off the pitch past him. I mean, God,
you're right, and I think that's the one thing I noticed. I mean, I didn't see it on the night because I sit too far away, obviously. But when you saw some of the video after the game, normally a manager who's you won't look at the player being sent over the turn their back, walk away. He was looking thunder daggins at him. He was really angry, and I thought, not surprising. Quite a few press people said he didn't draw breath for about 10 minutes when he got inside, give him a right roll again. And rightly so, it has to be said.
Definitely. I mean, then again, Yano says if Pookie scored, it would have been disallowed because of the accidental handball. But it's a whole host of things with that goal.
Yeah.
It was a poor touch from Clark in the first place. I don't know what he was doing. And then Pookie goes through. Clark has then got... And the thing is with Kieran Clark, it's not like he hasn't got experience. He's a very, very experienced Premier League defender.
Played many games.
You know that if you even slightly touch him, he'll go down. I'm not saying he dived or anything because he didn't. He was dragged. He was brought down clearly.
Pulled back, pulled his arm.
What I'm saying is Pookie will, he'll in the back of his mind, he'll be waiting for contact, or he'll be concentrating on putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
Clark can just think to himself, right, in the first 10 minutes of this game, he has to make that split-second decision. And as a very experienced defender, he should be doing that, making that decision and saying, right, I've made a rick. I'll try and put him off as best I can, but he's going in on goal. If he scores, I'm going to make damn sure that I try and repay the fans again and get this back, by whatever ways, keeping Norwich out or scoring from a corner or something like that. But he doesn't. He makes a stupid, rash decision. And for me, that's a sign of a player who's just done. Because he knows what happens.
You're absolutely right, Paul. Couldn't agree more. But I think when you look at the incident, I watched it today 4 or 5 times. Obviously, I was going on with yourself tonight, and I thought I need to watch this. Pookie does make a meal of it, but absolutely right. I mean, you said he was waiting for contact, and he was pulled back and both his legs went off the ground. Well, I thought it was a bit silly, but nevertheless, absolute nailed on red card. Stupid decision. If he ran at them and alongside just breathing down his neck and didn't actually touch him, he may have put him off enough, or the keeper may have made he was a good keeper, so he may well have made a good save.
It's a 50-50 chance, Dave. That's the thing.
No,
he might have missed.
Yeah,
but it just seemed a absolute ludicrous decision to bring him down. It crazy.
Yeah, well, Pookie put 2 in row Z during the game, so he could have well done the same again. No,
I mean, absolutely not. That was a great volley, by the way.
I mean, the equaliser was a hell of a goal. And that's the type of thing he can do. But it was probably the first one he had on target of that. Well,
but you're talking about the first 10 minutes of the game. Hasn't had a lot of touches of the ball. He's cleaned their own goal. You're not 100% certain that he's going to score.
Absolutely crazy.
Fraser and ASM should be fresh for Saturday. I don't think ASM. Fraser will definitely be fresh. But ASM, I mean, again, we were talking about that last night on the fan forum. When you're in the trenches like that, should we have kept ASM on the field? I know, people say, well, yes, he's our outlet, but he wasn't. I think Fraser would have done a better job than ASM on Tuesday night.
It's a close call, and I must admit, listening last night, I could see both sides of the argument when I'm thinking, who will be best this year and who can do something. And at the minute, I think Fraser, he's been playing well. He can certainly do things quite well, better than he was doing last year under our previous person. So it's a close one. I don't know, but I mean, I would have thought that, taking everything into account, I think it would have been better to take SM off and put and leave Fraser on. But who knows? You don't know what would happen if we'd done that. It's all ifs and buts, isn't it?
Just before we go on, I just want to say that I am going to be bringing memberships to the channel. I've had to think about it, and seeing as I have, I've got, a fantastic bunch of subscribers, a big family on here. So I am going to now bring in memberships. Obviously, a small little fee every month, just obviously because this is what I do full time. But I'm going to bring it in, but I want people in the comments throughout this show. What would you like to see for like a members only? Because you can put sort of videos on for members and things like that. What sort of incentives would you like to see if you were to sign up and be a member of the Toon Review? What would you like to see for members only? Obviously I've got some thoughts myself, but I'd like to hear what the subscribers want as to what they'd like to see. So, extra videos for subscribers, or they get to see the videos first, that kind of thing. So if you can put in the comments whatever you can think of, if you sign up to be a member of the Toon Review, what would you like to see for, that membership? What kind of, extra content would you like to see? So if you can let me know.
It's only £600 a month as well, Paul, so it's not expensive.
Yeah, it's reasonable, Dave. It's reasonable. £600 a month. I think it's going to be $4.99.
That sounds better.
Yeah. So it's not a great deal, but as I say, it will help. And the money that I'm going to raise from memberships is going to go to Parkinson's. So I'm not going to see that money. I'm going to put that to charity. So if you'd like to become a member, any money that I make from the membership is going to Parkinson's UK. So
decision, Paul.
Yeah, it's just obviously I can, I make money through the revenue on the ads and the super chats and things like that. But it's a way to sort of, generate a bit of income and use it for a charity. So I'm going to be doing that. So all the money from the membership goes to that. So hopefully we'll get plenty on board with it. But let me know what you want to see in the comments. Musical Magpie says, who should be our first choice centre midfielders till January?
I think
we've got them, Dave. I'm genuinely pretty sure that the way Shelby's been playing, we just need more from Willock. I mean, if we can get Willock back to anything like he was, even 3/4 of the player he was for us at the back end of last season, I think the two in midfield we've got at the minute, if he's going to go with a 4, is those two.
Yeah,
because Hayden was woeful when he came on the other night again.
He was poor. But I mean, I think, and I would agree with the lads I sit next to. They were saying that last season when Willock came on, did he get a free role? He might have done, but he was playing further up the field. This time he's playing further back, so he's been more of a defensive midfielder. And the lads are sitting here by were saying they didn't think that was his game. They thought his game was running at defences and doing whatever. Now I'm in two minds about that. I'm not certain, but the only thing I will say is that he's a bit like Miggy. He's not looking like he's enjoying his football at the moment. Something wrong? Is it that, as we said the other night, is his toe still giving him bother? We've seen it before. I mean, you look back in the day when you had Bellamy, whose knees were always playing up, and he didn't want to play much because he was so frightened his knees would go completely. And I get that. But
with Willock, Dave, that run he made in the first half on Tuesday night, when he skipped between two Norwich players and he burst down the left-hand side.
Certainly still got it.
He didn't. He took the players on brilliantly, but he didn't. There was no acceleration.
No,
like we saw last season when he sort of disappeared from people chasing him. There was no speed there, which means, which gets me thinking something's not quite right. He's carrying a knock, or if it's his toe, get it sorted. Leave him out, get it sorted, and get the proper player back.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. I mean, if you've got a niggling injury, it will slow you down because you'd be frightened to really push it in case it goes bang, and then you're out for half or 3/4 of the season, which you clearly won't want to do. But yeah, it's got to be sorted. There's no getting away from it.
Yeah. Ab says Man City this season have been off the scale. Can't see us getting anything there. No, I'm terrified for that game, to be honest.
Yeah,
but then again, we've said that over the last few seasons, and sometimes we've won. You know, but you just never know. We won't get anything against Man United, City, or Liverpool, unfortunately, unless we drastically improve. If Clark had have just ran with him, it would have been a handball under the new rule. Yeah, but again, he didn't think, did he? Man United game is already sold out. I think it's, you know, a lot of people are going to see one particular player there as well. Let's be honest.
Who's at Lascelles?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know, I think Cristiano is attracting a lot of attention, and I think, you know, at his point in the career, I think you know, I know he gets a lot of stick from away fans, but I think from the majority of fans, he's in his, you know, we don't know how long this guy's going to be around for now, and to see him play for maybe one or two last times is going to be fantastic.
Absolutely.
You know, you know, to say that you've sort of seen one of the best players in the world, that has, you know, he's up there with the very, very best. So for me, you know, a lot of people will be wanting to see Ronaldo as well.
Right.
I mean, he gets hammered, but I think if people were genuinely honest, then it's an honour to see a player like that.
I think a lot of people, myself included, would shout and ball at him and say you're rubbish, but at the back of your head you're thinking, he's pretty good. He's good to watch. So,
but that inspires him, doesn't it? Shouting like that, it just inspires him. Norwich were clearly happy with the draw. Well, they shouldn't have been. I think that was a poor choice. If they've gone home happy that they've been against 10 men, bottom of the league side for 10 men for 80 minutes, and they've gone back to Norwich happy, there is a serious problem within that group. I think they'll be. They would have been gutted, but they didn't perform well enough to beat us. Should Murphy start as a winger, as he does provide good support to Wilson in attack? But who are you going to leave out? That is the question.
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I like Murphy. I think he's a good player, but you're right. It's that, you know, like I joked before about having 12 players because then we can fit in the ones we want to fit in.
Oh dear. Stu's been banned from Facebook for a month for calling Kieran Clark a mong.
Yeah,
the other night.
We've been chatting about that. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, if a mong gets you banned off Facebook, then Christ Almighty.
Well, I was
need to take a serious hard look at themselves.
Yeah, I was telling Stu earlier on today that a friend of mine put a post on with another friend who's just not long had a baby. Baby's about, I don't know, 9-month-old. And she had that lovely little giggly look on her face. And my mate said, "Oh, look at that, she's gorgeous. She's a proper little cheeky monkey." Apparently, according to Facebook, that's an absolute horrible insult, and she was banned for 2 days.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
And you know what it is?
You know,
I mean, as you know, up here, you know, calling somebody cheeky monkey is a term of endearment, you know, because
you little cheeky monkey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still does that to me. Graham says, we are clutching at straws with games in December, but home games against Man City or United with a partisan crowd, nothing is impossible. Exactly. And you know, people, this is what Newcastle do. This is the speciality. You know, we all expect an absolute hammering when Man United, Man City, or whoever it may be, come to St. James's, and then suddenly it's like we step it up again. Now, I'm not saying that's right, because we should be at that level every single game, no matter who we play. But you know, when you get that kind of atmosphere in the ground, I mean, it's quite obvious that, you know, we don't like Man United. We haven't done for a long time. No. And I don't particularly think much of a lot of Manchester United fans. I know a few of them who are very, very nice. You know, and but some of them chucking stuff down from the rafters and things like that on top of supporters. I'll not forgive them for things like that. No. Especially, you know, when a coin came down a couple of years back, hit a little kid in the back of the head. You know, so it just along for me, and it's shocking. So, you know, but we all know there's bad bunch among good bunches. So
yeah, I mean, every fan base has got his idiots, and we're no different, unfortunately. You know, there are some crackers in there.
If you had called Amanda that, you would got a post of the month. Yeah, exactly. Lascelles is too slow mentally and physically. I mean, it is a mental side as well, Dave, because so many times we've seen, I mean, you know, going out against Arsenal, we knew he was going to get a yellow card. There was no doubt, and he was going to get a yellow card. And the tackle he made to get that yellow card, he was 3 yards too late. And it's happened so much. That is what we cannot do without. I mean, Burnley, we could probably get away with it. Burnley don't exactly have a lot of pace, apart from Cornet. But then again, if he goes with the 3 centre backs, then we have Shea and Lascelles to cover. But when we haven't, if he goes with a 2, Cornet could cause some problems. But against the quicker teams, Lascelles has found out every single time.
And it's when the quicker teams get behind him, he then looks lost, because when the balls are coming in, he seems as if he doesn't know whether to go for it, wait for it, let the keeper get it, or whatever. And that's the point about he's not quick enough. His decision making is not good. I mean, as we said earlier, he used to be a good, really good defender, but he's just whether he's been totally and utterly bruised, we don't know. But time will tell.
Yep, definitely. Norvik says, on the day, I feel that now we have the potential to get points off any teams, apart from Man City or Liverpool. Stu says, Paul, Gabriel at Bonlahor doubled down on his bullshit today, claiming 10 other ex-footballers agreed with him, but he wouldn't name any of them. He should take his head for a shit proper mong. I completely agree with you, Stu. Listen, he wouldn't name them because he's just bullshitting. Quite frankly, the amount of players that have come out and actually had a dig at him, especially the ex-Newcastle players, I think far outweigh anybody that stuck up for him.
All of the legends come and have a go at him, And I mean, I don't know. I tell you that. I mean, I've wrote a complaint into them.
Yes.
More just because I was angry and and I just thought I'm fed up with this bloody. I won't even say what I want to call them, but it's just clickbait rubbish, and I got angry.
It's just absolute bollocks.
And I've said either an on-air apology, or I tell you what, bring them up. I'll host them for the day. I'll take them out on the Jag and show them the sites, and then just say, what you're on about. But for a fact, and after the day, he's not going to do either, is he? He's, they're just going to come back.
Well, no, I mean, the only sites I wanted to see is my 5-knuckle shuffle, to be honest. I mean, I can't stand him. He's thick as mince, for one. He really is. He's on there, and, when he's asked a question, he's just absolute pathetic answers. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know our area. And, for somebody like him, who, let's face it, was a very average footballer for Aston Villa. He wasn't pulling up
special.
trees.
No.
Nah. He was born idle half the time. He was a lazy little shit. And the fact is that he comes on radio, slags our amazing Northeast off. It's just bollocks. And the legends that came out and hammered him for it, he's now fighting back saying, oh, well, 10 ex-players come and said that to me. No, they didn't. You're saying that because you've been jumped on by a lot of footballers who appreciate the area that they played in and earned a damn good living with and had a damn good time when they were here. Some of them are still here. So don't come to me with your bollocks of 10 ex-footballers, bollocks shite. Get away, man.
But the thing is, as well, Lindsay Upgrade was on with him, who was a Newcastle United fan.
Yeah, I know.
All he had to do was say, who wants to play for Newcastle United? And he would have thought, I don't agree with you, but okay, I get where you're coming from. But no, who wants to live in Newcastle? And that was the insult that just...
It's just typical. It was Newcastle. He didn't say the football club. He said, who wants to live in Newcastle?
Therefore,
he didn't say, who wants to play and live in Newcastle? He said, who wants to live there?
In Newcastle. Therefore, dismissing the whole area as being cold, horrible and wet. I mean, it always rains there. Well, actually, Newcastle's got one of the lowest...
it has.
Rainfalls
it rains
in the country.
More bloody Manchester and Liverpool, where they've got world-class players.
Yeah,
so how does he make him? How can he possibly? I'm getting annoyed.
Yeah, no, calm down.
Listen, all I'm saying is, Gabby, shave the bum fluff off because it looks ridiculous on your big round head, and stop slagging the Northeast off. Right?
Absolutely.
You brummy little git.
Yeah, and come on here and let's have a chat there. We'll be friendly, honest.
Julie, I love brummies as well.
Yeah,
I just don't like that little shit.
No.
Stephen says, if you look at the league at this present time with Brentford in 11th, our top of who may go down the league, then the Toon at the bottom are only 9 points behind. It is only 9 points to 11th. And that's what we have to keep thinking. Yeah. Jezre says, at this point, I don't think it matters upsetting the apple cart by changing the captain. The apple cart has long since gone rotten. Now is the time for a new apples. The analogy has lost its point. I think I take it you like apples, Cesare, as well as Great White Shark Wrestling, but I understand I understand where you're coming from. It's a good point.
As long as we don't talk apples and pears, we're going to get there.
Apples and pears.
It was a dad joke.
Yes, I know. Paul Down Under says, loved your match review against Norwich. Very passionate. The lads did try very hard. Burnley is a must-win. Freddy can deal with the long ball better than Lascelles. He can because he reads the game better than Lascelles.
He reads the game 4 or 5 yards ahead of him.
But he proved that on. I was just loving the interceptions. Norwich would play the ball to the forward line, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, is Fernandez winning the ball, just taking the ball off their feet. I take it Yano doesn't like Lascelles. Yeah, pretty well explained. Stu says, hope Lascelles stays out of the team. Jake, good evening to you, buddy. Even lads, Burnley's never an easy game, but I'm backing Eddie to get his first 3 points, and that's from a Leeds fan, so thanks very much, Jake.
Cheers, bud.
Ab says he might pick Lascelles due to Burnley's strength in the air. Yeah, but Lascelles is shit in the air.
He's not even good in the air.
He's terrible. And if there's one guy I'd want in that team who can win headers, it's Shaw and bloody Fernandez.
Yeah, Shaw in front of Fernandez, but yes, both of them need to be there.
You look back at the games and you look at Lascelles' headed clearances. He heads it straight to the opposition rather than head it diagonal out to play or to safety. He gives the ball back.
Yeah, or he heads it up in the air, which he's done a few times. Goes straight the air. But then the ball just gets recycled. So
exactly. Tangy says we've just got to turn draws into wins. Our last 3 defeats have been against Spurs, Chelsea, and Arsenal. I think we are going to go on a win streak soon. Tangy, I hope you're right, matey. Because if you are, then I'll buy you a pint. Morgul says Fernandez for captain. Keep Lascelles and Clark away from the first team starters. 100%.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh God, he's here. He's here. I know he was on John's stream before, but he's arrived. He has arrived. Alan from The Hangover. Geordie Toon for Life says, I think you play 5 at the back because Burnley play 2 up top. They do, but I'm led to believe that little shrimp Barnes isn't playing. He's injured. So he may well just be going with 1 up front. I think he'll probably play a 4-5-1 on Saturday, which will be very interesting to see how we sort of go toe-to-toe with that. I think if he goes 4-5-1, it will give us a lot more opportunities. But again, we just don't know what these managers are going to do. No. Gary says, good evening, Paul and His Royal Highness the King.
Gary. I mean, Barnes has only played 8 times this season, so, he's not up there with a sort of 12 and 13.
He's not a regular starter, is he?
No, he's not a regular starter. So, I mean, is he the man for them? I'm not sure. I mean, if he's not a very good player, and, we'll just let
Wood has scored plenty of goals against us in the past. Where he was at Leeds, he was linked with us when he was at Leeds, wasn't he? And then he went to Burnley. He's a tough opponent, but he was brought off against Wolves, and he took the huff as well. Did you see that?
I missed that, Paul. No,
he came off and he was shouting and screaming at Sean Dyche, and Dyche said afterwards that he didn't mind it. That's what he wants to see, because he was brought off because he wasn't performing. And that's what he wants to see, a bit of passion. So he'll be in the starting lineup. I've no doubt about that.
He's the best forward at the moment, I would have said.
Cheswick says the problem with playing with 3 centre backs and wing backs is that if you have poor leadership, it's harder to control the back line. We saw that with our 45-degree offside trap. Never mind the fact we need attacking. I mean,
very fair point, Cheswick.
But when you've got Lascelles leading that back line, what chance do you stand when you've got Kieran Clark? Shaw, Shaw must be looking, thinking,
"What you doing?
What's this guy all about? Where's he telling us? It's incredible." Luke says we have to start with a flat back 4 because Dembele cannot play right wing back. Best get used to it. We play better with a back 4. Matthew says, question is, if Lascelles starts, can we score more goals than mistakes he makes? It's getting back to the old days where you're thinking, right, you look back at the days of Darren Peacock and Philippe Albert. Philippe Albert, you never knew where on the pitch he was going to be half the time. He was, playing as a striker sometimes. And Darren Peacock, he wasn't the greatest defender, but he knew how he got stuck in. He didn't mind getting hurt.
And you're right. I think the thing with Albert, he could pop up, in the D or their box, and then if they got the ball back, he was back in the fence in what just seemed like 4 or 5 strides. I mean, he would go back at pace to cover. Our defenders don't do that, so that's probably why they don't go that far forward, because they're afraid they're not going to get back.
Yeah, Carl makes a good point as well. Fed and Shah to start, maybe then that will get Lascelles working hard to get back to the way he was under Rafa. Is that what he needs? A wake-up call to say, right, I don't care if you're fit. I want you playing your best football. Prove to me on the training pitch that you're worth a shot to get back in. But he shouldn't get back in unless a player's form dips.
Yeah. And I mean, you're right. I mean, we've said it before, in the chats that, people like Amiobi, 4 or 5 managers played him every time, and we were thinking, why is he playing? He's not that good, but apparently he was an absolute worldie in training. So that's what we're going to do. You're fit, you're available, but you have to prove to me that you're better than the 2 who currently hold the place. And I think
it doesn't matter if you're fit. If you're not good enough, you shouldn't be.
Absolutely. You know what I mean?
But I get your point, David. That's the thing with yourselves, though, isn't it? I think he expects, because he's captain, that when he's fit, he plays. And to be fair, that's probably what Steve Bruce told him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if fit, you play. And that what that does, it puts that sort of, I don't need to play that well because I'm going to be in the next game, whatever happens. Well, that's not the way it should be. You should only be in if you play well enough to keep your place. I'll be better than the.
Look at that point there. Last Newcastle win where Lascelles played 90 minutes was November 2020.
My word, Jan, was that right? I didn't know that. Yeah, well,
that is a year ago.
There was a thing, wasn't there, a while ago that did the rounds on social media where they said 20. What was I can't remember the numbers. What was on, but something like 20 odd games when he started, and we got 10 points or whatever. And 20 odd when he didn't start, we got 18 or 20 points. You'd have to. Excuse me, I can't remember the numbers, but yes, there was a big difference when he played and when he didn't play, and we seem to do a lot better when he didn't play.
Yeah. Jake says, Clark did what I see Liam Cooper doing for us. Lower league defending instincts, physically bullying tactics because they lack the fitness required for the Premier League. Cooper's shirt pulling is a prime example. Yeah, totally agree. Matthew says, Joe Linton is quite hot-headed. That's what we need. That's what we want from Joe Linton. We haven't seen that enough. He's a unit, that guy, Dave, and he should be bossing players, and that's what he was doing.
And I said last season there was a few times, especially in front of us in the East Stand, where he'd be going, down the wing, and a defender came across and went boo, and he'd fall over because he's such a big, strong lad. You would think he'd be able to boss people off the ball. He's starting to do that now, and yes, he may be hot-headed, and you're right. I mean, it's got to be, it's got to be focused hot-headedness. He's got to be able to turn it into, good attacking football.
Not like a Negro hothead where you just go
you just
try and break somebody's legs.
Or Ket's Bar, who was mad as a box of frogs, but he was great to watch.
Yeah. Mad as a box of frogs, without a shadow of a doubt. Toon Down Under says, you think choosing Wilson as captain was the changing of the guard? Dubravka and Shelvey previous captain choices. Wilson a permanent choice?
I'm not I take the point, but I'm not a great lover of having an attacker as captain, although Shearer did it, did a good job. So, but I think midfield further back, you get to see the play better than a forward. But having said that, for my money, he did nothing wrong as a captain the other night. So, why not? Why not, indeed?
Well, I mean, time will tell. A lot of people are actually going for Fernandes for captain, and he certainly, for me, shows captains. He's definitely got the capability to be captain. Dave says, looking back at when Lascelles was good is like the way we couldn't remember our last win. Even Google didn't know. Yeah, I remember that on Tuesday night trying to find that out. Joe Linton is a number 10 or a winger, says Matthew. Just love to see Joe celebrate. Has so much passion when he hits the net. I know he does. And, like I said, many times I've been his biggest critic, but I've always said I'd love him to come good. Because he just looks that kind of guy that you just you would love to get behind, just to celebrate with, and have that connection with. The same with Miggy. You just want Miggy to pull it round and just become a player.
You just want that smile back and thing. And I said a couple of times last year on the fan forum, I still think there's a player in Joe Linton, and people, don't be daft, you're talking rubbish, and it was a little bit tongue in cheek, but it's been proven now that actually there is a player in there. Is he good enough, going forward? Well, we don't know, but certainly the improvement he's made over the last 2 or 3 games has been monumental. Yeah,
you can definitely tell that the coaching staff have been working with him.
Oh yeah,
because he's gaining confidence game by game. Joe Linton was playing on the right of a midfield 3 against Norwich after the red card. Yes, but it was a midfield centre three. We were very, very narrow. That's why Norwich was spraying the ball out of the wings a lot of the time, and there was a player free. But then we closed them down quite well.
And we let the wingers, Norwich wingers, get the ball, because I think with Shaw and Fernandez, they knew that they could stop them, and they did for most of the night. There was very few. I mean, if they hadn't been there, taking the play, not to say the players were getting the ball off them, there would have been a lot more crosses, and the likes of Putty would have been thinking, thanks very much, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. But they said, right, come out the wings. We know we can cover, and we did. So
definitely. Cheswick says Joe Linton deserves all the credit he's getting now, if not more. I do like the idea of him being a destroyer in the midfield. Imagine Shelvey on form next to Joe the way he's playing now. Yeah, maybe so. I mean, obviously, long term, Eddie will work out where the best position for him to play is.
Yeah.
But you're right. He does deserve all the credit he's getting, because let's face it, he's took a lot of shit since he signed for Newcastle. From me, from everybody. And it's good that we can now turn that down and talk about Joe Linton in a positive way. Matthew says, I think he might have played behind Wilson if Clark didn't get sent off. I think Maxi was given that free role behind Wilson, the way it looked at the start. Need to try and find a way to get the midfield more involved. Willock has been anonymous all season. Joe Linton is definitely finding his feet for the last 3 games. Has been our best player on the park for me, says David. Geordie says Fernandez came on with a point to prove against Norwich. He has to be our first choice centre back, without a doubt. Norvik says, I said Joe Linton for captain weeks ago. It was just scoffed. Yeah, I don't think he's captain, Norvik, mate. I don't.
He certainly improved an awful lot. I'm not sure he's captain material. But, however, if he continues this improvement, and Eddie Howe and the team work with him, possibly later on the season or whatever, I'm not sure he would be. But did you see that joke I was doing around on Twitter, Paul, the day before yesterday? Greggs are doing a new pie for the coming to Christmas. It's called Humble Pie, the Joe Linton special, and we've all got to go and eat it.
I'll gladly eat it. I'll Listen, I'll do the same for Miggy as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see that American on Twitter who pronounced Greg's GR eggs?
Yes.
Oh my God! How dare you talk about our absolute northeast establishment like that?
Absolutely, yes.
Ben Arthur had the potential to become the next Zidane for France. I think he was a better overall player than ASM. I think judging by the comments, a lot of people are agreeing with that. Joe Linton is better when he sees everything in front of him. Put him centre half. As a forward, he struggles to read the ball when it comes from behind him. You just never know what will happen in the future. I think ASM needs to be given time. It's not easy to switch mentally after being told by Bruce to just go out and improvise for more than 2 seasons. I mean, no doubt that, listen, he was teacher's pet under Steve Bruce. There's no doubt about that. He was told to just stay up front. We'll boot the ball here as much as we can and go and do what you do.
Midfielders were told just get it to the ASM and he'll do whatever
and
he does.
I think it's kind of ruined his game a little bit, but he'll get that back. Matthews and Ben Arthur was 2-footed as well. He was.
That's true. Yeah, and I think the other thing with the ASM is a lot of the managers and coaches are looking and think we need to watch him. So half the time he's got 2 or 3 players around him, which last year that wasn't happening. There was only 1 or 2, and he was dancing past them. So
I don't think Ginger's ever going to be a fan of Joe Linton, to be honest. But everybody to themselves.
Fair enough.
I think ASM needs some tough love. Abs says, still think ASM can be a star for us. He can. I think Miggy, ASM and Joe were told to go down for free kicks by Bruce. Hard to change the pattern. Probably. I wouldn't put it past Steve Bruce to say that. Cheswick says, I love Ben Arthur. He's my favourite player post KK. He did have a better end product than ASM, but let's not forget how frustrating he could be too. Just like Robert, that's what we get with Flair. Exactly. Flair players, they're in and out of the game.
Yeah.
Ginger, if Joe Linton continues this form to the end of the season, it's enough for me. Absolutely.
Yeah, agree.
To be fair, Bruce and us as fans have relied on ASM to win us all the games individually for so long. Now we have a manager that can get the best out of the other 10 players to help. Yeah, and it's up to ASM to realise that he's got players around him. Joe Linton isn't good enough. Man of the match last few games, man. Yep, he was. You have to remember ASM is a street footballer, not a forward-thinking winger. I get where you're coming from.
That's good point, Ginger. Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Bring back Nobby Solano. He'd probably still do a job for us, to be honest. ASM has shown signs of a final product. Do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot and not enough. And I think it's that as I said the other night, when you look at some of the stuff when Peter Beardsley would literally dance through, the 18-yard box and the 6-yard box, and defenders would think, what's going to happen? The ball was in the back net. He's not good enough to do that at the minute. But I think, with a little bit of, that tough love, as you're saying, he'll get it, So he's not that far away. But, they always say the last bit's the hardest bit, isn't it? So.
Yep. Paul says, take ASM out of that side and they're not worth watching. He's not the finished article for sure, but who else gets us excited? If he scores the winner Saturday, everyone will be raving again.
It's a fair point.
Listen,
Paul.
I mean, it is a fair point. I'm not having a go at Maxi here. I'm saying that we need to get the best out of him, and he needs to realise that if he can let the ball go instead of taking 3 or 4 on all the time, just give an easy pass, he can then move into a better position, like the goal he scored against Brentford. He took one man on, he saw Fraser, he laid the ball to Fraser, he then made the run, Fraser plays a beautiful ball over, and he scores. That's what I'm getting at here. That's the potential he has. Yeah,
and absolutely, Paul. And I think the other thing is when you look at that goal, the technique he used, I mean, it was almost a side foot volley. That's not easy to do, and he buried it. I mean, the keeper had no chance. So some players would have brought the ball under control, take a couple of steps, and the defender would have been on them. But he hit it first time, which was an outstanding technique.
Surely we can just clone Shearer. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, certainly would.
Paul, how long do we give these players for fluidity? We don't seem to have it. Listen, I think it will come. I think we would have had fluidity on Tuesday night had the sending off not happened.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And I know I'm only judging that in the first 8 minutes, but you have to look at how we set out and start the game. And we were definitely going on the front foot. We were definitely looking like we wanted to score some goals. But unfortunately, that was ruined by a defensive error. And that's what's ruined us a lot of the time this season.
Yeah, as you said earlier, it's these silly mistakes that are costing us points.
Man United tickets sold out for the home game in not even a day.
Yeah.
$6 million Shearer. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. Cesare, smash those likes and you'll never have to hear about Cody ever again. Cesare, naff off. Listen. Do you know what? Right? When John had Warren Barton on earlier on, Warren Barton said, Connor Cody.
Is the man. He did.
There you go. So he thinks the same as me. Right? There you are. Geordie says Newcastle beat Burnley, Spurs beat Norwich, and Man City beat Watford. We will be back into beating the drop by 3 points. I know.
The other thing, looking at the table, you've got to score some goals because, we are quite a few goals in deficit. We've got the worst goal against in the. So we've got to start winning some. With several goals. So.
Toon LA says, read the Gale is on his way out to Preston. Cheers from Los Angeles. Hit that like button. Cheers, mate. I've heard that rumor as well. Hopefully it's true. I mean, I think a championship team will suit him perfectly.
Yeah.
Good evening, Louis. Says evening, Paul and Dave. Tangy says ASM might need to miss a game soon. He looks tired. He played a lot of minutes this season. Yep, he's played a lot of minutes due to the tactics Bruce was playing. Give the ball to ASM, and ASM would literally pick the ball up in the sweeper position, Dave, run all the way up the pitch, and by an hour, he's knackered.
You're knackered, absolutely, yeah. I'll do me John Motson bit for you, Paul. Tottenham beat Brentford 2-0. Man United are currently drawing 2-2 with Arsenal. 2-2, yeah. And Celtic beat Hearts by 1-0. So there you go. Yeah. Odd scores.
Ab says, if Cornet scores, you find £6.10, Paul.
Never going to let that lie, are they?
And there it is. Love Howe's energy on the bench. Yeah, without a doubt. Never seen a manager as pissed off as Eddie looked after that red card.
I'll say absolutely.
Can we buy Pookie in January? I don't think. I think there's better players than Pookie out there.
I do. I mean, I said this. I think I said it before the match on Tuesday, Paul. He's a good player, but would I have him? Probably not, because he doesn't do it enough for me. I mean, but having said that, he scored. It was written in the stars that he would score. Yeah.
Dan says, I don't get as much English news in America. Has Clark made any sort of comments about what he was thinking?
Not that I've seen.
Nothing at all. Calvin, very strange. Clark didn't touch him, mate. Pure dive.
No, I have to say, Calvin, I saw where you come from, but I think if you look at his feet, if you look at Pookie's feet and he flicked them up and went down, and I thought he's never touched them there. But I've watched it several times in slow motion, and Clark drags his arm back, and that's why he loses his balance. Yes, he went down relatively easily, but if it had been Wilson, he would have done exactly the same thing. So unfortunately, that's today's game. So now he pulled his arm, and that was probably enough to, for the foul and then the red card.
Jano's comment's a bit harsh, I think. Clark didn't cost us the game. The Dubravka compulsory Rick did.
I don't know about that, Jano. I mean, obviously the punch. Should he have knocked it back in,
Well,
for a
wasn't
corner?
really a punch, was it? It was just he sort of palmed it away.
Palmed away, yes. So which made the ball was recycled then, But I'd rather have Dubs in than Dahl, much as I think Dahl was a lovely lad and a pretty good keeper. He's not as good as Dubravka.
I'm not sure what Abs's comment is. Paul's naked body.
Really?
I mean, I'm not quite sure what that means.
No.
Understand why. God knows. Understand why ASM was kept on. He's arguably the paciest player on the pitch and can score goals. Eddie wanted to use him to hit Norwich on the counter whenever possible. Yeah, but ASM wasn't. He didn't seem up for it.
He wasn't in the races. No.
Dan says, members only. I fly to England. You buy my ticket, and we'll go to my first match together. Wow. A member should have access to Discord if you have one set up, Paul. I don't even know what Discord is.
It's some sort of other
sort of chat thing, is it?
Chat thing, yeah, I think
right.
so. I mean, I know quite a few. For me sins, I'm quite heavily into American politics, which I got in during lockdown. God knows why. But absolutely, it's quite funny at times, which is sad.
I can imagine.
It's quite a few of those hosts use Discord. I've never looked into it, but yeah, it's another service. Interesting
one from Luis. This member only streams, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could do like different a couple of members only shows.
Yeah.
£6.10. No, it's $4.99. Can you imagine? I made it £6.10. Jesus Christ. Norvik's special rate for pensioners.
Yeah, that works.
Members only sounds like an OnlyFans pictures of John in leather. Oh no.
No.
Lewis is £6.10 a month.
It's going to come.
Is the membership fee £6.10 so that you can pay for the M6 toll? Members piss up. That would be good.
No, I'm all for that.
Members only doing lives naked. David, get your head out of the gutter, mate, please.
No.
Terrible. Discord chat, special videos with members having discussions and reactions. I'll have to look into this Discord.
Yeah.
Chongold, Paul looks like he's lost weight, about £6.10. Oh, dear.
I'm
Neil
sorry,
says, can
Paul.
you get us 3 points if I join your membership? Yes, Neil.
Yeah.
Memberships rantathon. Yes, there'll be lots of rent. I can sort of maybe sort of do sort of a proper blue rants like I used to for members only, possibly.
Yeah. Behind closed doors rant.
Sorry?
Behind closed doors rant.
Exactly. Thomas says, I pay for membership, Paul, if there's a weekly video with you wearing... What is this? People want me to do shows naked in lederhose? God almighty.
God.
Chris Willock is a better player for QPR. He is a very, very good player,
Yeah,
Joe
is.
Willock's brother. He's a talent, without a doubt. Scott says, Clark made a huge error on Tuesday, but it was a split-second decision for a defender who was part of a team that hadn't won in 14 games and were under huge pressure. Don't forget that. Yes, but he's been around long enough to know better, to be honest.
He's a long-standing professional. He should have known what was going to happen, but...
Definitely. That's really going out on a limb about City, Abs. Yeah, I guess so. Johnson's evening, chaps. Paul, could you please leave the comments on screen just a little bit longer, please? Sometimes they flash on and off too quick. I'm very sorry, John. I cannot win, can I, Dave? Yano complains that I'm not going through the comments quick enough. Yeah. And then bloody John saying I've got to leave them on the screen. I cannot win.
It's really hard. I mean, what you're trying to do, and I see where they're both coming from.
There's hundreds and hundreds of comments come in every show, and it's so hard to get through them.
Yeah. I mean, you joked last night that you were about an hour behind on the chats, and that's the problem. You bring a question, the panel answer it, or me on tonight, and then you've got another 10 or 15 comments in, so it's hard to. It's a balancing act, I guess. But
yeah.
And of course, the other thing to remember is some of the comments aren't, some of them aren't, really.
Yeah, I have to sort of. I know I've got mods going on, but sometimes Julie's on the old, and doesn't.
No, she's at the quiz now. Behave.
Susan behind the scenes doing our bloody text stuff and making screen backgrounds for me and thinks, "Oh, I've missed that one." And then it's.
Well, I'm on here, so I kind of do them both.
Well, that's your excuse. You can't multitask, can you?
No, I can't. I'm a man. How it is a
Ken, very strange comment. You heard this new director of football starting 1st of December. Well, it's now almost the 3rd, and nothing's being said.
No,
a bit of a strange one that. Ab says Ronaldo is a legend, one of the best I've ever seen. Yes, and that's why I think a lot of people want to see him because he is a legend.
Yeah.
Perhaps Willock has been on Bruce's diet plan. Maybe he does look like he's a little bit larger.
Well, I
than
think
he was last season.
You need it to bulk up, the same as we've said, or you said a lot about Miggy not being strong enough. But there's bulking up and bulking up. You want muscle, not fat.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I mean, I've got a 1-pack. No love for Man United, but Ronaldo is a legend of the game. Deny that, and you're just in denial. He is.
Fair point, Jake.
For me, he's one of the greatest.
Yeah.
I hope our players weren't happy after the game either. For the membership, maybe a scorecast competition. Each week's Premier League match predictions. The winner wins a Toon review mug or something. Bit of fun too. Fair play on donating it too. Thanks, mate. Mm-hmm. That's actually very sensible.
That's a good idea, that, yeah.
I am trying very hard to start getting some merch because I know you'll don the old Toon review hat, won't you, Dave? And
oh yes.
So I am looking into that. I just obviously, it's a bit difficult for me to do anything at the moment with Phoebe being poorly. So but I am looking into it. I'm going to try my best anyway. What's among, says Dang. Dave,
it's a very derogatory comment, and I'm going to leave it there because it isn't nice. However, it's a term that's used, so I know what it is and I know what it's against, but I think this is not the right place in open forum to see what it is.
Got out of that one well, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
you did. You did very well
I've
there.
had media training. I don't want to,
Susan says, "For my eyes only at abs." Yeah, talking about me being naked. Fair enough. Listen. Can we end this conversation, please?
Yeah. Paul's getting embarrassed.
Jesus, is it hot in here? Jesus. Tiger says, "Evening, lads. Some results went our way in midweek. We still have a chance to get out of relegation. We need to start winning now." Yep. Totally agree. Dave says they should not have any away fans up there asking for trouble. I always find it strange where they put away fans above home fans. It just totally does ask for trouble.
Back in the day, they were in the bottom end of the East Stand when they used to have boxes there.
Yeah.
I've got a couple for maybe another night. A couple of great tales because I used to stand nearby them. And was pretty good.
Cool. We look like we're improving each time we play under Howe, in my opinion. Just need to nip these individual errors in the bud and the results will come. I'm confident with new signings. It can be done. Yep. Ab says, "Oops, sorry, Susan." You will be. Clark was quality on the ball when we were in the championship. Yeah, a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
Idea for members only. Would you be able to have one-on-ones with former players? Doesn't even have to be ex-Toon players. I am working on that. I know some of the sort of, obviously Warren Barton's been on with John tonight, but some more sort of players of the now, shall we say? Be looking into that. All the players were off pace in the last 2 games. Look like they're having intensive training. Yep, but they'll get fit. Yeah. Matthew says Zach Bonlow is full of shit. Gabby can only name 10. Yano says, if Murphy and Richie are deemed good enough defensively to play as wing backs, then surely they could play in midfield as part of a 3 with Shelby. Those 3 are now discovered back 4 and front 3. Josh says Jag. Yes, Jag. Doesn't matter what Gabby says. You think Dembele is going to consider Newcastle? Then say, no, Gabby, it's bad. Gabby said it's bad up there. Too far is he getting relegated? No, we may well.
Yeah,
was that comment supposed to hurt us? I'm not sure.
Doesn't hurt. No,
we're already under that realization.
Yeah,
he does realize pretty much of all Newcastle squad isn't from Newcastle. Exactly. Members video of Paul battering Gabby. Okay. Pipe down Tufel. Yep. No player that will go in for listens to Gabby on TalkSport, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
The fans should campaign to Amanda Staveley to get a new radio station for the north of England. Call it North Sport. Hey, should I start North Sport?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know, I could start. You can do online radio stations. You know, I might start North Sport. You could be the midnight prowler. You know, something like that, and I'll do like a drive time show or something like that. Hey, I tell you, we could.
John doing relationships with hello ladies.
Oh, yeah, relationships through the night with John. Hello ladies. Matthew says best city in the country. Definitely. Too far. We might be out. We might be, but we're going down fighting.
Absolutely.
Great idea, says Tang. Great idea, Tangy says Abs. Jake says if the worst happens, you can clean house. You've got to pull. You've got the pull to get in the players to boss the championship and come right back up, and probably even bank the parachute money to help with the Premier rebuild. It is. It's not doom and gloom if we go down. I'll be disappointed if we do, because obviously it's a year taken away from the big plan of getting moving up the league and winning stuff. But hey, what's to say we can't challenge for cups when we're in the championship? You know what I mean? It's true. If we're going to spend a lot of money, which I think we will. If I'm going to subscribe, then I want to hear a daily rant. Okay. I can put daily rants in for members. That's not a problem. We are rent free in so many pundits' heads.
That's so true, mate.
And methinks we've got a Mackham in here. Yes, we have, as normal. I live in Northumberland, says Morgul. Have lived in many places, visited many places, and can honestly say we have one of the most diverse and beautiful areas of the country in the northeast. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I've said a few times, where else can you go from beautiful coastlines within half an hour? You're in fabulous country.
Exactly. You can go to Bamburgh, visit Dave's Castle. You know, you can do all sorts. Too far if you're not. It's not your. If you want a life trolling, learn English. Isn't it past your bedtime? There you go. Jake, apply for that DOF role. Good evening, Stuart. Don't listen to Gabby. Mom's a whore. Oh, dear.
Oops.
Oh.
Did
Julie,
you ever hear the tale, Paul, about you? Do you remember the comedian? He did a lot with Jimmy. What was her name? Tall, long, white, sort of ponytail. It'll come to us a minute. And apparently, a few years ago, good few years ago, bless him, he's been dead a few years. He was arrested in London for defacing the Northumbria Tourist Board posters. And when he went to the magistrate court, they said, "How do you plead?" And he said, I plead guilty with mitigating circumstances. And apparently the chairman says, I'm intrigued. Howie, what's your mitigating circumstance? He says, well, Northumberland in the northeast is probably one of the beautiful spaces in the world, not just England. I just didn't want you Southerners coming to there ruining it.
Get in. Brilliant. Cesare says, I have a good idea for members only. Let's have Gabby come down to South Africa to do a shark cage dive with me, and I'll make sure there's no cage. Cesare, right? I'm telling you now, I would love to do a shark dive. So if I ever rustle up enough money to come and visit, I'll come and visit you, and we'll go shark diving. I really want to do that. Susan would love to do it as well. She really wouldn't, but I keep telling her when these adverts come with sharks, we're going shark diving, And now I know somebody in South Africa where we can go shark diving.
Yeah,
Susan, if you watch it, well, I know you're watching.
You should, yeah.
Me and you's going to visit Cesare. And we're going down in the deep with the big animals. Spurs are doing us a favour, I see. Don't know, mate. I have zero tolerance. Ask Paul. Don't ask me anything. I have 3 full seasons in Football Manager under my belt, which automatically makes me more qualified for a top quality football job than Lee Charnley. That's fair enough. Where are the Saudis? We are the last. No, they're still there. Don't worry. They're still there. Even
Man United winning 3-2, Paul.
Oh, bollocks. Even Alex, hope you're well, mate. Christ, I forgot to reply to his email today. I'll do it tomorrow, buddy. I've been a little tied up today, so daughter's still there.
Yeah,
she's got long COVID, mate. So I'm trying to balance everything. I did order quite a lot of Christmas presents today, though, so that was a bonus. Sitting on the sofa with her cuddled into me while she's fast asleep ordering all her Christmas presents, which was quite good. Evening, Scott. Hope you're well. Stuart says Ferdy to stay in the team. If Shark can do the simple things rather than be flash, I'll be honest, get Watts back and give him a bench spot and give Howe a chance. I would also give Anderson a crack. Yeah, we've got some good youngsters ready to step in. Will Tarkovsky be playing? Maybe Burnley will put him on just to show us what he's available. Connor Cody. If we beat Burnley, like I keep saying, our draws will come in towering up the table. We go, keep the faith, good vibes, no negative vibes, up the Toon. Susan said, hope you're winning. I'm great, thanks. Obviously, Julie's at the quiz night on the old Steve Nixon is still at the club. Not good, in my opinion.
What you dropped?
I've dropped a screwdriver on my toe. Never mind. Mogul says, has Cody been mentioned in the chat yet?
No.
No, not in the chat, but I might actually just send him a tweet or something like that saying, Connor, watch my channel, watch how many times you've been mentioned, get yourself to the Toon, sunshine.
Yeah, absolutely.
A point or so off so far. She might actually win tonight by the looks of things. Dan says, are there any young players from the MLS you would like to target?
I don't watch it, so I've got to say I don't know.
I watch a bit of it. I don't watch a lot, I would say, but listen, I'd love that guy from Atlanta who was Miggy's strike partner. What's his name?
Can't remember. I don't watch it a lot.
His name beats us at the minute, but him, I think if he came over, maybe it would spark Miggy. Alex says, Fernandez with 10 years in the Premier League, Shah with 70 caps for Switzerland, both having to listen to Lascelles shouting commands. I know it's pretty, when you put it that way, it's a bit pathetic, point. Really, isn't it? Scott says, Bonner Hall looks like a half-cut slack jawed yokel. His eyes are like a broken garage, always half shut. Say how you feel, Scott. Say how you feel.
See what you're thinking,
Bring back John Anderson, but don't think many players will have any legs after the game. He was a strong tackler. Dave H., get your bow and grace Lascelles enough to be out the rest of the year.
Your bow, I think, is what he meant. Yeah.
Oh, your bow.
Take him out with an arrow.
Is he talking about the bloody stupid matchstick throwing? Joe Linton has started winning a lot more headers. He has. He's starting to boss it a bit. Janos has played 19, won 3, not played, won 9. One of the wins he played, he went off injured at 0-0. We went on to win 2-0. So Janos done his homework, and we're definitely a better team. We're definitely a better team. Dave doesn't think Wilson is a captain. I tend to agree. I'd probably rather see Fernandez as captain.
Yeah. I'm not sure. And I see what Dave's mean. It's because he's a striker, and I don't think forward players can be captains because I think they're looking back too much. Just my thoughts. I mean, others will disagree, obviously.
Yeah. He's still got a long way to go to work off that transfer fee. He has, but... Yeah, 40 million. He should have been second behind Messi by now.
Yeah, but I think in his defence, you can't dictate how much people will pay for you. It's the buying club that will finally agree the price, and it's not his fault that he was the biggest player at the moment. But
Neil says, "Don't need one captain. We need them all over the pitch. 11 captains, as the cliche says."
Yeah.
Joe Linton is turning things around, says John. I hope we play a 4-4-2 formation. Well, we kind of do and we don't. We keep slipping into a 4-4-2. I believe the report on J7 about extra training videos, etc. He's paying for himself. Shows what passion he has and the desire to improve. He was a young lad when he signed. Must take acclimatization.
Yeah, he's only 23 or something, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still a kid.
He's still a young lad.
Mm-hmm. He's still a kid. So hopefully that will improve. Tom, I don't know what players will go for in January. It all depends on the league position, buddy.
Yeah.
Not as agile as Philip, more like Pogba and mobility. I'm not sure who the talk about. There was something in the chat. ASM got the talent, just needs to be a better playmaker. Tangy says, look where Joe Linton was when he played Callum Wilson in the game against Brighton. He definitely plays better when he's deeper. He showed that against Norwich when we had to dig in and get a result. Good point. Very good point. Yeah. Jamal's problem is he was really close to Yedlin, was his drinking buddy. I dropped Jamal off when I worked taxis and he was wasted, couldn't even walk. Well, you could tend to say that about him on the pitch as well, to be fair. Alex's ASM from 2003 to 2011, played football at sports academies in France before moving to Saint Etienne at 14 years old. He's now 24. That's 10 years with professional coaching, not a street footballer at all.
I didn't know that, but yeah.
Ginger says, Paul, it's not about what he does. I compare every player to the past squads. Every player in that squad is on borrowed time. Think in January we need players better than we have. Someone has to sell. Yeah, I agree that we need better players. Obviously, we do. And we definitely need a plan for the future. And that's why I say in Eddie we trust. Joe Linton is a battering ram at the minute. Absolutely love his play at the moment. The slide tackle he done on the halfway. Then when he was on his arse, he slid in and tackled another player. Yeah, he did. He did. Right, we've got about 5-10 minutes left of the show. We'll come on to predictions in a moment and possible starting lineups, Dave. Cesare said it's so simple. Some of the most talented dribblers never realised that they could have been footballing greats if they could just pass. Danielson, Lua, a teenage CR7, learned that, and look at him now. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
We need to keep Gale for if we go down. We'll get somebody else.
If we're loan him out, we could bring him back, I guess.
But there's no need. There's no need to have Gale. We can buy much better players even if we do go down.
Yeah, right.
14 matches with 2 international breaks in which he's not picked for France. He shouldn't be knackered yet. He shouldn't be. We need points fast if we're going to get people in January transfer window. Ginger says you watch any team but Newcastle. Every player knows where to pass. We don't. It's pass back. Don't look for forward runs. We're starting to look at forward runs.
Yeah, he's a fair point, but I think that turn is starting to come. I mean, it's
all hail the John Motson, the king of Northumberland. Scott says Paul heard a rumor about Cody for January transfer, £6.10 million. Cody we need Cody 100%. What price would be he get in January? Look, just offer 30 million quid. I think 30, 35. He's in England international.
You think as little as that would bring him? Yeah.
As little as that.
What's what?
Oh, I know. It's pocket change to you, living in your flaming Bamburgh Castle and all that, and driving your bloody Jag. Jesus, Dave, come on, man, get with us peasants. It's a shame Liverpool signed Jota. It's someone I'd definitely go for if he was still at Wolves. Listen, there's Jimenez at Wolves as well. He's a good player.
So there's plenty of good players out there we could pick up.
Yeah, we need a top winger to show our wingers how to control the flanks and how to make runs. Thomas says no, Cody is on a contract till 2025. He is at least 22 million. Back pocket change to our owners. Yeah, it's strange how Cody is so rarely mentioned on here. Paul, you cheeky get. Honestly,
who was that?
Right? Yeah, I've never mentioned him. Go on, Dave. Give us your starting lineup for Saturday. Then
I wrote it down and I've moved it. I would probably go for the team that finished on Tuesday night, but I would bring Fraser in and leave it the way it was. I can see what people are saying about bringing others in, but you
wouldn't go for the team that finished. You'd go for the team that started with Clark, obviously replaced by Fernandez.
Yeah, I guess, yeah,
right,
yeah. Because okay, Dubs made a mistake, but that's one mistake. But definitely Fernandez, Manquillo, and Shaw. I think Manquillo, all right, he's a little bit slow, but I think he's a good player. And then Shelby, Willock, Joe Linton in the middle, and then the and Wilson, leading the line.
Yeah,
that's what I would say. I mean, it's all about opinions. I mean, everybody will have their own starting lineup, but that's just what I would do.
Yeah, true. Dan says most shows have a separate producer. I'm super impressed you do it all whole, making proper conversation. And how many times can you read Start Fernandez? Yeah, lots of times tonight. To be honest, Dave, I would go with the same team as you. No changes apart from that one at centre back. I'd quite happily start with that 11 again. And I hope he will. I sincerely hope he will and puts himself on his arse.
Yeah, would do. I think, as we said earlier, I think that the thought is that if he does start with that team again, it will send a message out that we are not going to mess about. We're not going to go backwards, and it'll just keep getting better as we go on.
Yeah. Tangy says, with Discord, you can create multiple rooms, allow access and block access so you can be in control of your community. You can also post videos and photos, info from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'll have a look at it, Tangy. I'd love somebody to be able to teach me these things. I mean, I go on YouTube. I suppose there'll be videos on YouTube how to start a Discord, so I will have a look at it.
Yeah.
Robert says, a members only watch along on away games. Watch alongs tend to be for the whole community, though. To be honest,
do.
I mean,
Unless
the next away
basically
game,
you're gonna away to more games this season, aren't you? So that would be difficult.
yeah. Well, I'm going to Leicester. I'm going to Liverpool. I'm hoping to go to Everton. Southampton definitely not on the 2nd of December. There's no way I'm going. 2nd of January. There's no way. So I'll be doing a watch along for that.
I mean, joking apart about the Premier League and what they do to the fans, and I'm not having to go to the Premier League. Well, I am, but on that day, having to travel all the way down there where there's little or no public transport, it's an absolute disgrace. It really is. And if it was, another team up here, all the way down there, it's a lovely part of the world. The South Coast is nice, but it's a hell of a long way to go in winter when there's little or no transport. And it's, what is it, an 8-hour drive or something from here to there? It's disgraceful.
It's a long way. Luke suggests a picture of John Sinclair in a mankini for a prize. Paul, it's not possible. It is not. Is it not possible to reset the chat every 15 minutes to keep it relevant? No, it's not, unfortunately. But I like to put everybody's chat on the screen. That's just the way I work. 2 wins before January changes things quick. Abs, if it's hot, Paul, take your top off.
Steady now, steady.
Jesus. Lose this and better make the 5-year plan into a 10-year plan. Yes. Scott, respect the idea, Paul. Well worth subscribing, and fair play for putting it towards a good cause, despite obviously needing money to keep the stream going. That's okay, mate. I have other income as well, so I'm just, as everybody knows, I suffer from Parkinson's. It is a very, very tough illness to deal with every day. You just have to ask Susan that, but I battle on, and I'm not saying that for any credit. I just do, because I love doing this. I love doing the YouTube. The channel's becoming really successful now. There's always people out there in Twitterverse trying to spoil that for me and others, but they won't succeed. But I'm not talking about them anyway. I can get on with it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's basically that charity has done a lot for me since I was diagnosed at a very young age, and I think they've sent me a lot of information. They keep check up on me and things like that. So it's a fantastic organization, and if I can give a little back to them, then through doing this membership, then hey ho, that would be great.
Yeah. Good for you, mate.
Ken says, sorry, new director of football starting 1st of January, but has already passed his file of players to Howe. Can't start due to his contract with old club. Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
Yeah, wait and see. Wait and see.
Can't wait for Sports Direct to go off and the curse be lifted.
Absolutely.
Paul says, Paul has a few issues with speed, so the government are kindly sending him on a special course. Paul, I know you're going to the match on Saturday. Dare not come and see me.
Of course you will. Come shake your hand. Buy your burger.
Abs says a Toon Review merchandise mankini. What is wrong? Jesus. Honestly.
No, just no.
Jake says the show should be called Midnight Prowler and the Drive Time Stalker. Brilliant. Brilliant. If it happens, do we think ASM, Dubravka and Wilson stay? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. I do.
No way, ha ha. Jesus, where are you getting back to these comments, Susan? Awesome shirt you got there, Paul. Is it without the funny it on there? It is indeed. It is just
so
the black shirt. I got it in the sale, actually. It's really nice. Let's have a look. Would you do a skydive, says Tom? Well, given that I'm scared of heights, there's not much chance of that happening, to be fair, Tom.
No
I may be 6'5". I don't do heights at all. Jesuit
I
says,
used
come
to,
to Cape
but I
Town,
can't
Paul. We have a guest house in a lovely area for you and Susan. If you're serious, tweet me. Wow. Hey, Susan, we're going shark diving. It's happening. Morgan says, South Africa equals great whites. You're nuts, but fair play if you do it. Oh, can you imagine that? I do a live stream from under the sea. My special guest tonight, Jaws. I'd love to. Honestly, love to. Tell the Saudis what Gabby said about Newcastle. Hopefully make him disappear. Oh, dear me.
No.
Wow. A couple from Atlanta are okay in MLS, otherwise not really. Yeah, I've got a screwdriver on the table, Abs. My table actually fell apart when I brought it back upstairs from doing the watch along at the weekend. So unfortunately,
he's got to fight bats off as well, lads.
Yeah, it's for the bats more than anything. So yeah, Barry says Paul loving the Brummie accent, giving Darren Farley a run. Oh God, it's Martinez. He's called Martinez, Dave.
Oh yes.
Paul says shark diving. You shit yourself over a bat the other week. Never mind 20 foot of swimming teeth. Well, that's a good point, mate. But it's just something I've always wanted to do. Yeah. Listen, it wasn't a bat. It was some kind of monster, right? Which has vanished from the face of the earth. It flew in like a bat. It flew behind me green screen, and it's never been seen again. So I don't know what the crack is with that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Linton has been playing so well under Eddie. I'm really happy for him. Right. I know there's loads and loads and loads of comments coming, but I'm not going to get through them all, unfortunately. Obviously, everybody has seen them in the chat anyway. So
they can read them all, yeah.
What the hell? Susan says, I'll film it on ground with a long pole. Thanks, Cesare. Very kind. No, you won't. I
think
we'll do what we did with B.A. Baracus. We'll just give you a kind of horse tranquilizer or something, and you wake up underwater. You won't have a choice. I think that might be illegal, to be fair.
Well, yeah.
Mr. ACDC himself. Okay, we must get Jacob Murphy in the first team. Step up, fella. It's there for you if you really want it. Good luck. Cheers, Brian. What is the proper name of the charity? It's Parkinson's UK is the name of the charity. Mm-hmm. David says you're doing a grand job. Love coming and watching and listening to the crack. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Luke says smoking cannabis is great for Parkinson's. I've heard that, actually. On a serious note, I've heard that. But I'm not in a position where I need it at the minute, luckily. That may change in years to come, but at the minute, no.
Unless you've got to walk back to the car to get the ticket for Barry's dad.
Yeah, let's not talk about that, Dave.
No, that was I really felt for you.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
Dan says any podcast besides Everything is Black and White, and you could recommend lots of football podcasts, but not many FC. Well, and UFC ones. There's Newcastle Fans TV with Lee. Good bunch of lads there. You've got Adam Pearson. You've got John Sinclair. World of Sport TV. PD Proudlock. Who am I missing?
Steve
Magpie
Wraith.
Channel. Steve Wraith. Yeah, NUFC Matters. Brilliant channel. That's probably the biggest one out there at the minute. So
True Faith. I will mention that. It's
True Faith as well. So there's plenty out there, but this is the best one, to be honest, Dan. So you get all your news on. Yeah, you get all your news on this one, Dan. So don't worry, mate.
You get proper rants on here as well, Dan, now and again. So that's what you need.
Yeah, I tend to lose my temper sometimes. Great show, fellas. Hit like, subscribe, and smash the bell in the face. Notification button, not Gabby. Exactly. Yeah. I just finish off with a couple more comments here. Oh God, Troll says Paul's worst nightmare: a white shark bat that charges £6.10 per picture.
Troll, that's funny. I like that.
Did you find Big John's ticket? Luke, I never lost the ticket. I was winding him up, and if you saw John's face, the blind panic on his face during the Horseman show, he was just crazy. Love the attack, but the squad needs probably 60 to 75 of buys million spent on defence. Indeed. Yes, Rubenstein as well, Morgul. Yeah, he's a good lad. He's a really nice lad. He always comes and says hello as well. He's a great YouTuber as well. Sorry, I missed him off. There was just there's
lots out there, and it's what you like. You know, I mean, obviously this channel's by.
Is that all she can say? Ha ha. Is that all you've got to say?
She's working hard, Paul. She hasn't got time to type a long reply.
MG says, amazing channel. Keep the hard work. Thanks, buddy. Cesare said, always going to be a pleasure, Susan. Yep. Susan's going shark diving. There you go. Yeah. Tangy says, Spotify podcast system could be a way of getting North Sport Radio off the ground. Listen, it's an idea. I've set up the Toon review on Spotify, and there is some sort of old Horseman shows on there. But I am going to start uploading them to uploading the regular shows that we do now to Spotify as well, because I've had a lot of requests for that, so that people can listen to the shows going to work, or they can listen to it, in the gym or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But
apparently, you can do it automatically through StreamYard. But I've no idea how you do it. But apparently,
it doesn't go automatically. You've got to download the audio.
Yeah,
from
you've got
StreamYard
to do
separately.
something. Yeah, but
I've done it. I've got some of the horseman shows on there. Yeah.
Right.
I just download the audio side of it, and then I edit the audio and then send it to Spotify. So, it's quite good. Abs says I would get North Sport patented. What does that mean?
Means
Patented.
you keep it. Like a website. You get
All right.
whatever it is.
Abs, if
Toon
you're
Review.
on Twitter, drop us an email. I want to get some more on that. I can see me and Dave starting a radio station here. Morgul says, man gets into the cage goes into the water, shark is in the water. That's a line from Jaws, one of my favorite films.
They're going to need a bigger boat.
You were going to need a bigger boat. Yeah. Jano said he won't put this up because he's scared. Are they sharks
and bats?
Sharks and bats. Yeah. See, I did put it up. And then, so following on from Morgul's comment, Abs then puts shark has lunch. Brilliant. Always great shows from Paul and guests. Keep it up, Paul. Cheers, Charles. Means a lot, matey.
Cheers, mate.
Who isn't scared of a shark? Yeah, lots of people are scared of sharks. I've swum with little ones before in Florida. I've swum with very little ones, but Brian says the great support will take its toll late in the season. Shark bat. That could be on crazy things on Sky, them shark, them sci-fi channel where they put these most ridiculous horror films on. Sharkbat could be the next one. Yes, following on from Sharknado is Sharkbat.
Sharkbat,
It's a way. North Sport, love it, so we don't have to listen to the idiots in the south. Hey, Dave, I'm serious about this. We could get something going here.
What it is. Yeah, I got a few we saw would work.
Yeah. Thanks, Cesare. Right. Prediction time, Dave.
2-0.
2-0 Newcastle.
Absolutely.
I'm going 3-0 Newcastle. So I think it'll be our first clean sheet, our first win, and a couple of goals to celebrate with.
Yeah, I'm with you. I definitely think it's going to be a clean sheet. I think because if we start with the defence we've talked about all night, I'm confident. I'm probably more confident today than I have been at a few of the other games. Well, 2-0 for me. So clean sheet, absolutely.
Cesare says, Paul, you're going to laugh, but I've never seen a shark in my life. You lying git. Not with them muscle tops and them guns you've got there, Cesare. Tell you what, that's a shark wrestling arm I've ever seen them. Jano says, Paul, what's that behind you? I'm not looking. Great show, says Tom. 3-2 Newcastle, says Alex. Tangy says, do I get any royalties on the new radio station? We'll talk, Tangy. If you're on Twitter, message me. I want people to help me get this started and the Discord. Thomas says 3-0. Charles says 3-0. Morgul's going 4-2 to the Toon. David's going 2-0 Toon. MG's going 2-0 Newcastle. Brian says, I was being serious. Great crack. Thanks, buddy.
Of course you were. Good
Cesare is still sticking with 2-0 to the Toon. So, a lot of people here going for Newcastle wins. We've got 3-1 from Nathan with a Shelby Worldie.
Shelby Worldie, I'll take that.
Rated R says, love Newcastle with all my heart, although I'm a Man City fan. It would break my heart if Newcastle go down. I enjoy beating you 5-0 any day. Yeah, I thought you might. Yeah. Guaranteed 3 points when you play Newcastle for Man City at the minute.
True.
That will change very soon, in coming years. Right, that is the end of the match preview, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been fantastic having you all in the comments again. And thank you to everybody that's put super chats in again. I really do appreciate that. Yeah. Like I say, I'm hopefully going to get the membership up and running very, very soon, hopefully by the end of the weekend. So you can all become a member of this fantastic community that we've got going, known as the Toon Review here. I am trying to get sort of T-shirts and merchandise and stuff, which I will give away as prizes. And we will get something definitely set up for the members. A few more comments before we go. Absolutely epic show, lads and lasses. Cheers, Jano. 3-0 Toon, 1-0 Toon, 3-0 Toon, 3-2 to the Toon, Tom says 2-1 win on Saturday and Gateshead to win 1-0 tomorrow night in the FA Cup. Yeah,
Oh,
that would
I
be
forgot about
fantastic.
that would be brilliant. That, yeah. That's on TV, isn't it?
It's on ITV, ITV4, I think it is.
Yeah, because I'll be down at Stoney by then, so I hope we get that.
Flipping matches. What does crack mean? It just means, good banter, just good conversation.
Chatting away with your mates. Mm.
Yeah. Great show as always. Take care, Paul and Dave.
Cheers.
Chat, yeah. Susan says, take care, everyone. Great stream, says Rated R. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, David. Take care. All have fun and a great night. If you have enjoyed it, guys, please don't forget to hit the like button for me and help us to continue to push this channel up the ratings a little bit and keep it going, getting more and more popular. If you're new and you have enjoyed what you see, or you've watched a few times and haven't already done so, please do consider subscribing to the channel. I'm wanting to hit up to 6,500, and then we start looking beyond that. So it'll be very nice if we can get to 6.5k quite soon. I think I'm at 6.3 something. I'm not sure what it is, but
just sort of 6.4.
Yeah. Please share it with everybody who you think might like the channel, etc., etc. It's a fantastic community, all good friends on this channel. I love every single one of you subscribers. Dave loves it even more. Because he gets bowed to now with football matches. So it's an absolute pleasure for him. So thank you to everybody. So please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Final comments. Let's have a look. Cesare says, take care, everyone. Much love to all. See you on the other side of our first win. Morgan says, Discord definitely worth a look. You basically control your own server. Somebody tweet me about that, because DM me, because I need to get this looked at. Thanks, Paul and David. Cesare, thank you, Brian. I'm not sure what Tesco's all about, Nathan, but okay. Take care, everyone. Come on the Toon. And Brian says, sorry about the spelling. That's fine, Brian. You've probably, right, that is the end. Just to tell you about some shows that I've got coming up. I am doing a live show at 3:00 on Sunday with a match reaction live. Dave is away flicking matchsticks, as you know. So I'll be joined by the legend that is John Sinclair on Sunday afternoon at 3:00 for the match reaction live. So please do tune in for that. Monday night is the Monday Night Rumour Mill, where I'll be joined by a few guests, where we'll be talking about any players that have recently been linked in the last couple of weeks with Newcastle United, look at some stats on them and what they would do to improve the team. It's a brilliant 2 hours, that show, so do tune in for that. Tuesday night, 8:30 is the Fan Forum. Dave takes part in it. Cesare, we get all the usual ones on. It's a brilliant show. It's a good laugh as well. So if you want to have a laugh on Tuesday night, 8:30 there. Wednesday at 9:00, I've got the European Football Show. And again, I'm joined by the European Football Mastermind, John Sinclair, for that one at 9:00 on Wednesday night. So plenty shows coming up. Obviously, there will be a Leicester City preview with me and Dave. I'm not sure whether that's going to be Thursday night or Friday night, but we will coerce me and Dave behind the scenes, and we'll set that show up. It's on Sunday, so it may well be worth just waiting till Friday night to do that one. But we shall see. But thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight. I really do appreciate it. You're all amazing. And we will catch you. Well, I will catch you on Sunday afternoon at 3:00 with John Sinclair for the reaction. Hopefully, celebrating 3 points for the first time this bloody season. Take care, everyone, and have a fantastic weekend, guys. Love you all.
Cheers, everybody. Love you all.